Hey YouTube, what's up? My name is Chris. Welcome to my channel. In this video, I will be doing a review, bit of a rant on the new horror movie Evil Dead Rise. So pull up a chair, a drink. This is just grape juice. I thought it'd be fancy tonight. But yeah, we need to talk about this. So before I jump into, this is going to be a spoiler review. So before I jump into um, my thoughts and about this movie, I just want to run through real quick what this franchise is about. So I'm a big horror fan, and Evil Dead is a pretty well-known franchise in the horror community. The films usually follow a group of characters that find a book called the Necronomicon, which is a book on witchcraft and has certain incantations, if read aloud, unleash demons and come and possess people and wreak havoc and cause them to do all types of horrible things like murder, mayhem, chaos and all, and terrorize and all that kind of stuff. So it's scary, and these films contain a lot of blood usually and gore. And well, shit. If you're into horror movies, they're a good time. So I fuck with them, right? Now, when Evil Dead Rise, by the way, this is the 5th installment into the franchise with movies. There's 3 original Evil Dead films that I think the first 2 are from the 80s, and I think the third one is from the 90s. So they all, are connected. And then years later, years ago, there is Evil Dead 2013. And then we just, oh yes, also there is a television series that is called Ash vs. Evil Dead. That is the original character who stars in the original 3 Evil Dead movies, and I believe there's 3 seasons of that, and you could catch that on Netflix. That's where I have not really watched so much with the franchise. Anyway, though, so Evil Dead Rise is the new installment into this franchise, and it is fucking scary. I saw this last weekend, and I was really scared. I can't remember the last time that I went out to out to the movie theater and saw a horror movie that I was actually scared of. I'm really not gonna lie, after the first 5 minutes, the first 10 minutes of the opening of the film, I actually got up and had to excuse myself, go to the bathroom. I really needed just to chill. I don't know, I was at a place and I wasn't in my regular movie theater. So, you know what? I was a little shooken up, but then the dust settled, which really didn't. I mean, the movie definitely picks up, and it's true, it doesn't really let up. It just keeps going on and on and on. This is definitely an Evil Dead movie, and it's definitely freaky. So, this movie follows a group of characters. So it moves away from the setting of how the original films, where the original films usually take place, which is in the woods, at a cabin, somewhere remote. So they did something new where they brought it to an apartment. And this big, old, kind of creepy apartment somewhere in some kind of city. I kind of missed that. And yeah, the synopsis of the movie revolves around 2 sisters that reunite after a long time, and the one sister, she has 3 kids, she's not in a good place, her husband left her, things aren't really looking too good, they're living in this rundown apartment, which I don't want to call it really rundown, but it's just, I don't know, it just wasn't nice. And one of her kids, there's an earthquake that happens, one of her kids is kind of into music, and it sort of rushes and it gets there, where one of her kids finds this book, he brings it back to the apartment, starts to read from it, starts to play around with a record, and unleashes these demons that come and possess the mother. Now, don't get me wrong, I fuck with this movie. I do. It scared me, like I said, because I haven't gone out to the movies in a while and been scared. And there's certain movies that I just don't do anymore. Like I don't want to say I don't do anymore, but I'm just haven't been a fan of like New Day horror. So when I heard a couple years ago that they were doing this film, I was very much excited. And then when I saw the trailer a couple months ago, that shit scared me bad. So cheers to this new installment, because I respect it. I respect the horror. I respect the scare, the practical effects, the blood, the gore, just the telling of the story, the cinema photography, the way it's filmed. It's done incredibly well. Especially the possession scene where Alyssa Sutherland is getting possessed in the elevator. I was going like this. Like, yeah, when that kid's reading through the book, I was like, don't do it, but he did it. So anyway, there's just a whole lot of things that I liked about this movie. Like cheese graters. no, but the cheese grater scene was fucking scary and it looked very real. Again, I'm not somebody who's so into like disturbing graphic content, but when it's there, I don't know. This was just a fun time. Now, as much as I liked things about I really liked this movie, there are things that I just felt like could have been done better, and I think that is with the setting and also with the characters. For instance, Alyssa Sutherland, who is, I think being known as the Maggot Mommy, she is the one who says, "Mommy's with the maggots now," and it's fucking iconic. Okay, so I'll have to touch back on that again. So she did like a really great job, but I just felt like with her kids to say it's, and also her sister, like with the family, I would have liked to have seen more of them before like everything just like went off, and everything, got all chaotic. I also was expecting more characters to be part of like the I guess the story. There's a few tenets. So when the book gets read out loud, it's just their floor that gets I guess overtaken by these entities, these evil spirits. And I was expecting some more like Demons 2 vibes. Anybody fucks with Demons or Demons 2 from the 80s? I was expecting some shit like that, where like the apartment is like just shut down and people are like, in different rooms and like getting possessed, and like someone's like walking past a room and it's like, you see like there's like a monster in there or like some shit like killing someone. Like I was expecting more of that shit. And so I don't mean to get off track, but where I was trying to go with that is that the setting, like, it did feel sort of claustrophobic, and I do believe that the director, Lee Cronin, I think that's his name, wanted us to feel sort of claustrophobic, like really kept in, because it really just takes place at this one family's, like, one apartment, like their one like living space, or living quarter, I guess, like that's how you would say it. And I just thought there was going to be more with them splitting up, or maybe going down to this floor and then realizing they can't get to the rest of the floors. But it was just really in their one apartment. And then later on, though, moving a little bit towards the end of the film, eventually the main character, I believe her name is Beth, that is Alyssa Sutherland's sister, Ellie, and Cassie, who's the little girl, they do escape. And while they're going down, while they're like trying to get out of the apartment, there was something that I kind of felt like just could have been done better. There's a corridor that was spoken about in the beginning of the movie when they couldn't get out of the apartment, or they couldn't take the elevator and they couldn't get down from the stairs because the stairs were gone. And they were saying that I think there was a corridor or a separate wing of the apartment that was vacant. And they didn't do anything with that. They never got to going down there. I thought they were going to go down there. I thought there was going to be some Deadites like hidden over there. They were going to, be in like an empty room or some shit. I just was expecting maybe more, whatever. It's all good. So, yeah, I really did enjoy this movie, other than like those like little things that, I didn't like. But, I'm trying to think other things that I really fuck with. Well, so it was last week, and I went out and I saw this movie, and I watched, my friends John and Janelli then had a party at their house the next day, and we watched all 3 Evil Dead movies. They were on in the background, but I was just chilling there watching them. I watched the first one, and then I watched the second one. That was kind of like on, but like a lot of music was on, so you couldn't really hear it. And then the third one was on, which was like pretty cheese. Army of the Dead. I think that's what it's called. Or no, Army of Darkness, I'm sorry. I think that was like a really shitty zombie movie. What was I saying though? So that was fun, and then came Sunday, I watched Evil Dead 2013. So, which gets me to saying, because when I left this movie, I was like, I liked it. I was like, actually, I loved it. I thought it was like really good. It was really scary. It was really done well, especially with the Necronomicon. I loved how they even went into explaining that it's one of 3 Necronomicons. Just that whole scene where I believe Danny, the kid, finds the book, and then he's listening to this priest, and then he's listening to the tape, the recordings. Like, he goes and listens to the one recording. It was just so scary. It really was. But I just like how they explored that lore with it, that this is just one of 3. There was something that I was trying to get to, and now I kind of got off topic. Oh yes, Evil Dead 2013. So, I fuck so hard with Evil Dead 2013. That movie is so fucking phenomenally great. That is like A+ fucking status, and I love it. Really, I do. And I watched the unrated version, which I never did. I thought, I don't want to say I thought, to me it's amazing. So, even when I left the theater on last Friday, I was like, ooh, but Evil Dead 2013 was like done better. Like, and that's just an opinion, that's just how I feel. I felt like when something happened in Evil Dead 2013, I was more, I guess we could say, invested, or I felt like more attached to the characters. Even the ones like Olivia, who was the nurse and who was like, I'm giving her the best attention, or I'm giving her the same attention she would get if she was at the hospital, and then later on she cuts off her fucking face with like, a piece of glass, and it's like, you felt for her. Just, when shit kind of broke off in this new movie, I didn't really feel for these characters, because I don't really feel like I got to know them. Like the one girl, I believe her name's Gabriel. No, I'm sorry, that's the actress's name. It was Bridget. So she was the older sister, and I just felt like I didn't really get to know her. But then, and then also when Danny gets killed, he kind of just gets stabbed in his arm, and then he gets stabbed in his chest, and I was like, I felt like he deserved more. He deserved better. Also, this film does one of those things too, where it's like, the beginning of the film ties into the end of the movie. I've bounced around, seen some reviews that some people are like, it was just kind of stupid. I, didn't really think it was anything cool. I didn't think it, I was okay with it, but from when I saw the trailer, what I really thought with that whole scene at the woods was that this is just how I thought the movie was going to be, was Ellie, who's our main, what is it, the protagonist, antagonist? Well, let's just say the main villain. So the Deadite of the movie, the Maggot Mommy. I thought she was gonna be one of the girls at the woods, from years ago, and she was gonna happen to have gotten possessed, killed all her friends, or maybe she was gonna be there and have survived some shit. And Then years later, the demons come back and find her or something like that. I don't know, but that's not it. These characters were kind of just thrown in there, and we don't really even know them. This one bitch gets scalped. It was like really fucked up. But hey, it was this was quite a ride. This really was. I'm trying to think of like some other things I could just talk about. Like, yeah, I think I said the cheese grater scene was like really hardcore. Like, what? Of course, all their performances were like fucking great. The acting was good. I think this movie, it's definitely Evil Dead, and it's fun. I had a blast with watching it, and I kind of wanted to go back to the movies and go see it for a second time, just to maybe pick up on some things that maybe I left out, more just to get like a better, like a second viewing of it. But again, it was a lot, and as the spiritual person I am, that shit could be a lot for me, you know. In a way, I kind of believe in all that kind of stuff, so I don't try to overindulge in, you know, spooky or scary stuff. But I definitely will say Evil Dead Rise is a good one. It's a scary one. It's definitely a lot of fun. So that was my 16-minute plus review. I hope whoever comes, watches this, or finds this, feel free to comment down below your thoughts, opinions, subscribe. That would help my channel. I don't have many subscribers, but I'd like to change that. Trying to think anything else that I want to say. Maybe I'll do like a video sometime in the future ranking all the Evil Dead movies, but I also feel like I want to watch the Evil Dead versus Ash vs. the Evil Dead or something like that. Is there anything else that I need to talk about with these characters? I guess, yeah, my biggest just letdown with this was how they didn't really utilize the apartment. Like, I just didn't think that. I thought that they were going to use the apartment more. Because when the tenants get killed outside, because eventually Ellie, the maggot mommy, ends up outside, outside the apartment, they lock her out. You see her just killing, like, the four tenants that are outside. And it's sort of just like, meh, okay. But I just needed them to get out of there and move on. And, it took a while for that, but it still was fun, and it did, like I said, it's definitely scared me. So, with that, I'm out of here. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Yes, I filled up my glass with some grape juice. It's just grape juice, so I'm just chilling. Matches my bandana. But yeah, I had a lot of fun doing this reveal. So that's all I really have tonight. Thanks for checking out my video. Feel free to, like I said, to like, subscribe, comment down below. And I'm out. Mommy's with the maggots now.